Beautiful day here in Clearwater, Florida, and I'm gonna ruffle some feathers today with the video. We're gonna talk about the 10 Harley modifications that need to die. You see my 2002 Road King Classic behind me. We're gonna go for a little ride and talk about it. Let me know in the comments before we get started what you think the worst Harley-Davidson modification is. I do want to call out my clothing brand, Iron Coast Supply. We got some really cool shirts. This is my Florida flag shirt. We got all kinds of cool stuff on the website. Check us out, ironcoastsupply.com. Instagram at Iron Coast Supply. Let's hop on the Road King and have some fun.
Quick fit check before we get started. Not too protected today. We got our Dickies duck pants on with Odin gloves. These are the heavy hitters, perforated leather. Really like them so far. Not sponsored by anything. Helmet Simpson Ghost Bandit. This is actually the European version, so it's called the Venom. As I go through this list, we're going to share some feedback I got from my Instagram at @BrandonHart_. A lot of times before I make videos, I'll pose some questions and then I'll feature responses from Instagram on a video. I'll start with a comment coming from Instagram. This came from Saint 1946. He says meat hooks, not necessarily 8-panel bars, but meat hooks in general. Meat hooks didn't make my list, but you know, I've veered away from meat hooks. One thing I'll say is, like, if you have a Vikla style bike or whatever you put meat hooks on, it's really good to line up the aesthetic. So if you have hard angles or hard points, it's probably good to at least keep that consistent through the bike. If you notice with this build, everything's curved. I like the older school or the classic curved 8-hanger bars, and everything is rounded on this bike. That's the way I like it. Kind of flows together a little bit nicely. Number 10 is those the studs on the seat. This is probably most common with Softail Heritage models, Heritage Classics. But back in the day, you saw a lot of that with the metal studs. Just having fun here, so if you have studs on your seat, don't come for me. It's all good. Number 9, kind of bike specific, because I haven't seen any bikes with this mod other than Road Kings. But it seems to be the first mod everybody installs when they buy a Road King, and it's the King Crown gas cap. I found this because you go on forums like Facebook and Instagram, and that seems to be, for whatever reason, like the first mod everyone gets when they buy a Road King. I think it's tacky and played out, and I don't know, a little crown on your gas cap. I don't see it. Next comment from Instagram comes from Izzy Details Tampa. Shout out to Izzy. Izzy's part of 813 Vikla, as they put on the Vikla show in Tampa a couple weeks ago. It's an awesome show. He says skulls, flames, and dirty bolts, or rusty bolts. I don't know that we can count rusty bolts as a mod, but I have to agree with him on skulls. Skulls makes it next on the list. It's just bedazzling your bike with skulls. Skull stickers, skull gas caps, skull emblems. I know it's like the Willie G symbol, but the skull thing is played out. It's like, you know, kind of used to be a rebel thing, but now I just think it makes it look like they're trying a little too hard with the skull. So Izzy, I'll have to agree with you there. Although I will say with the flames are making a comeback. Like the Ghost Flame paint scheme that Harley came out with, I really like it. And like, if you're a Dyna bro, I think flames look pretty cool on a Dyna. And next on the list at number 7 is spikes. Kind of goes hand in hand with skulls. But why on earth would you want to put anything sharp and pointy, like spikes, on your bike? You ever go to Daytona Beach Bike Week. There's a guy, Gucci Chopper, I think they call him. Him and Cycle Drag are together or something, I'm not really sure. But he super glues all the spikes to his bike. Now it's good that he only really rides it up and down Main Street, but if you were to actually ride a bike like that on the road and you went down, you have 1,000 little spikes that are going to impale you. I don't know, man. I like the axle nut spikes. Like, spikes can be freaking... I guess you don't have much of a chance when you go down anyway, but spikes aren't helping. Number 6 on the list are big wheels. That trend died like 5 years ago. I think it's hanging on by a thread. Still pretty popular for bike shows and Daytona. I'm talking like the 30-inch plus wheels. I got a 21 on this. That's probably the max I would go. But I think it looks a little goofy once you get past that 23 mark. I don't know. And then you're changing the dynamics of the handling of the bike. I haven't really seen a big wheel bike that looks good. It reminds me of when you're a kid and you're riding around on your big wheel. Maybe they're just living through that dream, man. Hang on to it as long as you can. But the style or the builds now have really shifted with King of the Baggers and everything, more towards like a performance bagger, and that makes me happy because I think performance is timeless. Big wheels are not. This looks tacky and god damn, it's expensive as hell. You ever go to Marketplace, you see some of those bikes listed for like 30 and 40 grand. Like, you put a big wheel on your bike, you're never going to recoup the cost ever. Next one comes from Instagram from my brother Dougie Fresh. He says fairings on Softails. You don't have to go far on Marketplace to find a fairing on a Softail Deluxe or Heritage. I think it looks terrible. Even on the Road King, like I bought this Road King, it had a fairing on it. And this is number 5 on my list, is a fairing on a non-fairing bike. Road King, Softail. Just put a windshield on it. Already has like the quick detach hardware for it. I promise you're not increasing the value of your bike by throwing a Batwing on it, on like a Sportster, Deluxe, Heritage Classic, Softail V-Rod. You name it, it's probably been done before. But the first thing I did when I rode this bike home, had the fairing on it, is I took the fairing off immediately. I was hoping that the headlight was still in good shape, because some people cut it. Like, you never know what people do with their used Harley-Davidsons. And it's a Road King. I gotta let her breathe, baby. Number 4 on my list. Might be a little controversial, but neon underglow. Now hear me out. Hear me out. I do think the classic bright whites look really freaking good on Harleys. And again, this is just Harleys, but showing up to wherever, rolling up Harley-Davidson Classic with neon green underglow, it doesn't like fit. It doesn't fit the aesthetic. Underglow looks a lot better on like sport bikes. I'm still not really a fan, but like neon colors for a Harley, I don't know. Unless you got some kind of crazy tacky paint job like bright neons, I don't think any of that looks good on a Harley-Davidson. Gotta die. But shout out to my brother. He did buy me a bright white light kit for this bike. I haven't installed yet, but it's like ultra bright whites, and that's all I would want. Like a little bit under the wheel and maybe under the bike, under the rear, kind of helps the visibility at night, and still looks pretty classy, you know what I mean? Number 3 on the list. This one came from Instagram too. I don't remember who posted it. I'll put it up on screen. But he said, loudspeakers. We do not need to hear your music. I couldn't agree more. Now I do have a Street Glide where I play music on, and it's okay. I'm talking about like the Obnoxious amplifiers and speakers. Here's what happens. You go to a bike event and you're rolling down the road with your boys. Everybody's got loudspeakers. And in Daytona, for example, I don't know why I keep using Daytona. It's like the testing pot of bike culture in Florida. But everybody's got their speakers all the way up, all playing different songs, super high treble, and all mixed together. It just sounds like absolute dog shit. And I say that knowing that I have loud pipes and shit. Look, I love my loud pipes. Even if you have loud pipes, I think that's cool. But a bunch of guys with speakers is all to the max. It's fucking annoying. People ask on the Facebook forums like, hey, what kind of speaker should I get for my bike? What kind of stereo setup? And I always respond, it's kind of like trolling, but a Cardo. I got my Cardo on now. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I like to hear my music, and I can hear it about as fast as this motorcycle can go. I can hear it just fine. And it doesn't bother anybody around me. So, you know, you're blaring Taylor Swift down Main Street, or your playlist accidentally skips to a track that might be a little embarrassing, you don't have to worry about that wearing a Cardo. You know, I can play Choosing Texas all day long by Ella Langley. Nobody will say a word. So number 2 on the list. Actually, I had a couple comments on this from Instagram. I'll put them up on screen. Tassels. I'm going to group get back whips in the same category, because honestly, a get back whip is a glorified tassel. Shout out to my boy Denver. He commented, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it says, you know, tassels and get back whips. Listen, it's 2026. Road rage is a real thing. The last thing you want to do riding around on a 800-pound bike or less is pull this get back whip off your brake lever in traffic and like crank a whip at someone behind you or around you. Cars and trucks weighing over a ton, and I guess you got little pieces of metal and nuts on the get back whip to mess with someone's property. Listen, they're just gonna run you over. And if your life is really in an emergency, you're not gonna grab a get back whip. First thing I'm grabbing, if I feel like my life's in danger, is gonna be my firearm. And I'm only doing that if absolutely necessary. You gotta have control nowadays, because going back to the road rage thing, like you see online guys that are smacking mirrors off cars for cutting them off and shit. Like, you never know what somebody's going through, and I'm not trying to die over somebody cutting me off in traffic that I don't even know or have anything to do with. Like, it's just stupid. So pulling out a get back whip to assert your dominance on a little motorcycle, it ain't the smartest thing to do. You're either gonna run off the road, arrested, or just run over. I guess you could make a case if you just like the look and it matches your colors on your bike. I think maybe some clubs carry these get back whips, and maybe they all have matching colors. I don't know all the rules and regulations, but I think they look stupid. I do. And the tassels, like, tassels is probably more like an old school thing. You don't see many of them anymore. Some of the Indians that I hate have tassels on them, and like, that's okay. Like, I get if you're into like vintage Harleys, but that trend's got to go unless it's a truly vintage motorcycle. But get back whips, there's just no excuse. Like, what are you doing here? And I'll share another Instagram comment by my boy Shot by True Bandit on Instagram. He's got a 6 Road Glide, all Viclet out, awesome bike. He says rabbit ear handlebars. That's a new one. Don't know what they are, just Google it. Like, they kind of come back, and usually see them on vintage choppers. Don't see many of them. They don't bother me, and they're not on the list, but I get it. I get it, my man. My man, True Bandit. Give him a follow. He's a good dude. All right, so for the number 1 Harley mod that just needs to die already, several responses on Instagram for this one. Freaking cup holders. I have yet to see a cup holder setup on a Harley that looks good. Yet to see it. If you need to take a drink, maybe keep it in your saddlebag. Pull to a light or something, pull it out, take a sip. But cup holders, ugh. I think they just ruined the look of the bike. Let me know if I missed anything from this list. This was fun, you know, again, all in fun. If you got into these mods, don't come for me. It's okay to bust each other's balls every now and then, you know what I'm saying? But please let me know in the comments section if I missed anything on the list. What drives you crazy? What mods that you see on Marketplace or just out riding that you're like, this has got to stop? Let me know. I appreciate you for watching. If you ride, remember, always keep that rubber side down. You know how we do here. Ride safe out there. Hopefully you're getting some good weather. This rain's got to stop in Florida. I promise you that. We'll catch you soon. Peace.